Welcome to the Desert Vibe. We get to do this again. Woohoo! I thought after the last show perhaps they'd take away our internet rights, but here we are. I'm Glenn Gardner.
I'm Walt Richardson.
I'm Jamie Ray.
And
I'm Maria Montanini.
There you go. In the corner.
There we go, Marie. There we go.
Marie, say your full name again.
Maria Montanini. The G is silent.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I was trying to find it on Instagram, and there was a lot of silent little things in the spelling.
So the reason that Maria is on the show is because, we always talk about musical connections here on the Desert Vibe. And one of the things that connects us are these large, really cool music events that happen across Arizona. There are many of them, and they are by and large well run, and it's a real chance for people in the music community to connect, and we meet new folks. And Maria came our way via Jamie Ray at the Glendale Folk Festival. And we did a lot of chatting about the Glendale Festival before it happened, first week of March. And had some folks on that were organizers of that event, and I emceed stage and played there, and Jamie Ray did the same. And the stage that Jamie Ray emceed, which wasn't as good as my stage, but it was okay, featured Maria on it, and that's how this all happened, right? That's the genesis of this thing. So Jamie Ray, why don't you get us started sing This Is All Your Fault. So take it away, Jamie Ray.
All right, Maria. Listen, I just want to tell you, I think I told you this when I met you. So she was on my stage at the Glendale Folk Festival, and when I first saw her and she came up and I said, okay, you're next, and we got things settled waiting for her to get on stage, I kept saying, oh my gosh, she's so cute and she looks, like an artist, and I was excited to hear. She got on the stage. The first words out of her mouth when she started singing, I was like, I know who she is. I grabbed my phone, start looking at, I was like, I follow her. That's the girl I want to go see in Tucson. So I was so excited. I think I told you that, right? That day.
I know. I was like, that is my favorite compliment in the world, because I'm like, my
So
voice doesn't really
excited.
sound like anyone else. And if you recognized, I was like, oh, there's my path to
That's
fame.
why. And it wasn't that I didn't recognize you, but you do look different in a lot of your videos. I think we all do. There, depends on the
gosh.
show. But so I'm so glad that you were on that stage and I got to meet you and I have you here now. So I'm going to get right to it because I know they're going to ask boring questions. So I'm going to ask fun, good, serious questions.
Ooh, hit me
I
with
want
it.
to start with we don't need to get into history because I know that's personal stuff, but you balance family and children as an artist. You are a single mother of 6 children, right? I thought I was the shit. I thought I handled it. I mean, I got
Oh, Jamie
3,
Ray,
4
you
if
are
you
the shit.
include my husband. But you really have all these little babies running around. So tell us what sacrifices has required, have you come across that you have to deal with that normal people don't have to, and to keep yourself going as an artist and the mom and be there for those kids, because I know you are. So tell us how you balance that.
Well, I love that question, because talking about sharing my story and my perspective on being a single mother and running a successful business and do my best to be a good mom, it's something I feel very strongly about, and I want to encourage other people to go for it. So my joke about having children, particularly lots of them, is you can do everything you did before without children, just slowly and with great difficulty. And that is kind of what's worked out. And I make it a joke because I
Yeah,
can't help it, but
yeah.
it's true. I wanted a big family. I always did. I'm the oldest of 6 children,
Mm.
and I am so blessed and lucky to have the 6 kids I do. My oldest is 16, going on 17. I have a 15-year-old son, a 12-year-old daughter, 10-year-old son, 5-year-old son, 1-year-old daughter.
Wow.
So they're all technically, to me, little guys because everyone needs to be driven around. As long as I got to drive you somewhere, you're my baby.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
right.
am very much in the middle of it. And I was a stay-at-home mom for most of my life. About 4 years ago, I it was the end of the COVID season, and I just had my fifth child. And I was dealing with postpartum depression and
Mm,
stir craziness, and I was like, I need to go do something. And that is when I started writing songs. And I was like, well, this is cool, but it's boring. Let's go make a band. So I put a band together and I liked them. And I'm like, okay, this is nice, but this is boring too. Let's go play shows. And I'd always been a musician, but like I was kind of joking with Jamie Ray before the interview, there's a big difference between being a talented musician and playing in your bedroom, playing in your
mm,
garage, playing for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
And the step from taking that to turning it into a profession, getting on stage, booking shows, working with other talented people, it's a huge step. It's basically running a business, but it's running a business that nobody creates rules for,
yeah,
and you don't come into it with much capital. And
yeah,
you work for your money. But back to being a single mom and how do you put all of this together? There are much better ways. There are much more stable businesses. There are
yeah.
much better
There
ways to make
there are.
money.
Do
But
your
what I wanted
kids?
to show my kids was that you can have a dream, you can have a
Mm,
passion, and if you are willing to work very hard, to work smart, you can make it happen. And maybe it's more slow than you'd like it to go,
yeah.
but
Sometimes it is. Yeah.
it's
But
it,
sometimes it is even without children. So are there major sacrifices that you've made though, as far as, have you ever had that gig you knew you had to be at, but the kids needed something that maybe might have been more important? Have you had
yeah.
those, and how do you deal with that? Like, how do you decide what am I going to do?
Well,
What are you?
the hardest thing, the main way I've run into that is having to cancel shows. And
Mm,
I treat that as my show is a product I'm selling. If you booked me, I'm going to be there. But
hmm.
then life happens. Kids end up in the emergency room.
Yeah.
Stuff happens like that. And, you know, we were talking a little bit at the beginning of the show about the Arizona music scene.
Hmm.
As difficult as having to cancel shows has been because of the kids, I've never had a bad experience
Mm,
because as soon as I know something's not going to work out, I contact the venue. I offer to find them a replacement. I reach out to
mm,
my musician friends to try to find a fill-in band if the venue wants that.
right.
And that's the quality of people who are involved in the music scene in Arizona. I
Yeah.
think we're all working together. We all have our own lives. We're all making it work. And so when you come to them in honesty and be like, I want to be there, but
Right.
I got to take my kid to the hospital. They
So
understand.
yeah, they do. And I've been in that situation myself, so as a mom. So and they do. If it's that big of an emergency, I've never had an issue either. But when you do have children, and sometimes there's stuff going on at home that maybe isn't an emergency, so you can still make that gig. So has there ever been, and I'm sure there probably has, when you have been on stage and had to smile and be that entertainer, but in the back of your mind, there's other stuff going on that is
Oh
just
yeah.
pulling you down the other way. How do you deal with that on stage?
I'll be really vulnerable about this because I think other musicians, other people who are working need to hear this. In the time I've been a musician, I went through hell. I've been through depression, anxiety, breakups, a divorce, becoming a single mom, money problems, kid problems, band problems, and I feel a lot. I got a big heart. And yeah, I carry that with me everywhere. But when you are a professional musician, you learn to channel your pain, your suffering, your
Mm,
joy into something productive, and it actually can become part of your performance.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
rule for myself on stage is that whatever, can I swear? No, maybe I shouldn't. My rule for myself on stage is your feelings, ignore your feelings, put on a good show, bring the energy and the feeling that you want to the audience. And it's actually a very grown up sort of thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
because you know what, we all have feelings, but as adults it's what we do with them.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
being able to put that in a basket and leave it behind the stage and just be like, I'm here, let's rock.
Yeah, that's true. Do your kids see you as mom or an artist or both?
Well, I know for sure they see me as mom, and I've realized recently that they're actually really proud of me as an artist. And you know, being an artist, you're putting a lot of your heart, your ego, your identity out in
Mm-hmm.
public. And people accepting you, respecting you, liking you, it's something you have to process. And you got to be comfortable with you, whether people like you or not. And if they
Mm-hmm.
really like you, you can't let it get to your head either. You got
Yeah,
to stay real. But I realized that the affirmation that's meant the most to me is realizing over time that my kids are really proud of me,
yeah,
that they talk about me to their friends at school. They share my music on Spotify with their friends.
that's cool.
They ask for band stickers and share those with their friends. And like, they're all cool kids.
Yeah,
They don't want to,
yeah,
just the fact that they share me with the rest of their life.
yeah,
It
that's
makes
cool.
me like, wow,
Yeah,
I'm
they see
honored.
what you're doing. They can see that you're balancing it and you're making it happen. I know Walt has some questions and Glenn does, and um I just have to ask you this because we mentioned you've had pain in your life and struggles, and you are a songwriter. So has pain made you a better songwriter or just an honest one?
Oof, here we go for vulnerability. Pain is why I started writing songs. I was in a very bad situation, couldn't talk about it with anybody, was going on for years, and I was at the point where I wasn't going to make it if I didn't find a way to speak my truth. And it was in that I'm an English major. I've never creatively written in my whole life until I went through that experience. And it was like, and I started writing songs because I couldn't talk about the truth.
Mm,
And so I used songs and
hmm.
poetry to express the feelings, if not the story, of what was
Hmm.
going on. So my songwriting came about through pain. And I'm like, it's been 4 years, and I'm like, dude, it's not that bad anymore. I'm not really suffering. And then I noticed if I'm not sad, I can't write as good songs. So like my goal last year was to tap into happy emotions and be like, let's write a song from a space of positive emotions. And I
Mm,
did I did some that I'm pretty proud of. I think you
that's
heard them at
good.
the Glendale Folk
Yeah,
Festival.
So
yeah.
now that you know Jamie Ray, the pain quotient is going to go way up, and you
See?
will be
See?
extremely creative. You will be creating so many new songs born of that pain.
Well, she's
I mean,
never heard
I've
the
got 5
Blindsiders play.
albums already, and I've only known her for for 2
Glenn, are you
years.
roasting that very nice lady right
Yes,
now?
he
No,
always
I'm
is.
just speaking my truth.
She hasn't heard the
Well, that's what we do
Blindsiders
as
live
songwriters. We
yet,
speak our
so
truth.
You know,
so Glenn, give her a chance.
I'm just
Hey, hey,
saying.
hey, 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 Glenn.
Mm,
Glenn, be
mm.
careful. Very,
I know, we're
very.
evenly matched here. Two girls, two guys.
That means we're outnumbered.
And Maria and I are a lot alike, so you
Yes,
better
indeed.
I
hold
know. That's
on.
what I loved so much about meeting you, Jamie Ray. Before the boys talked to me, my first impression of you was we met on stage, and I'm like, who is this outgoing, fierce little badass out here? I want to be her.
Thank you.
Well,
Oh,
the
Thank
first part
you.
of that is what we're still trying to figure out. The want to be her part, I'm not sure yet.
be careful what you wish for.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
But that part of that insight on her
Mm.
personality was the reason I reached out to her at the last minute before we started the podcast here, and I knew she was going to say yes, and I just wanted to find out if she wanted to be in the company of Glenn and myself, and so
I
and
might
so
regret that, but we'll talk about that in a few
you
weeks.
listen. I tell you one thing. When I listen to your interviews, you're asking the right questions, and you've always asked the right
Yeah.
questions. So,
Thank you.
and I'm sure the people enjoying the podcast are glad that you come from the perspective that you do, because it's a very humanistic one, a very real one.
Thank you.
Glenn, I don't know why I asked him to be
It's
here.
all
I,
bullshit that comes out of my mouth. So
Because
you know,
Glenn knows how to run the Zoom.
yeah, he knows how. He's the
I have the
technical guy.
equipment.
We needed a tech guy.
We're giving voice to our IT person here, So thank you, Glenn. We'll get you
Anytime.
a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's what I need.
All right. Well, I know you want
Wait,
to ask her about being in Tucson and Arizona. I know you want to ask those questions.
yeah,
Oh, and I want to talk about it.
I have quite a few questions. Number one, I'm meeting you for the very first time. I've heard of you through Jamie Ray, and by reading about you, and then doing a little bit of research on on the internet and everything.
So I haven't scared you away, is what you're saying.
No, not yet. But like I said, we are outnumbered here. So, and I'm from the oldest of 8 in the family. So yeah, I got some fight back. That's all I got to say. I got
All
some
right.
fight.
Well,
Oh,
I'm the oldest of 6, so you might win.
well, I'm number 5 of 6. I'm a
Ooh,
baby.
see, Glenn, how many in your family?
I don't know.
One.
I was adopted.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I was the one left on the doorstep of the orphanage. It's a sad story.
Okay, well, that explains it. Okay,
Oh my
IT person.
gosh.
So, Maria, you said quite a few things that would again have to have you back on this to continue the rest of these stories. The first thing I'm going to step into is the word professional. You said becoming a professional musician, and I think at the core of all of us here, we know about what that means when you have to set aside something you're going through to get up on stage to give a performance. And you explained that very, very well. And but being a mom is, I think, the part that a single mom is the part that I'm hearing and feeling like that's reaching out and making a connection, because there's a whole other universe in there that I think a lot of people don't even know what that means when you say a single parent. And it's
I
all on
didn't
you.
know until 2 years ago.
Yes, it's all on you. There's no scapegoat. There's
Yeah.
your ship sinks fast, and so
Yep.
you got to keep everything together. So I'm saying kudos to you on how that happens. I'm sure you have to have some friends, or you have a story about the village helping out whenever
Oh my goodness.
the village can, bandmates and everything. So there is that alone part, but you still, I'm gathering from your personality that you have a great support system,
I really
and
do.
you're very grateful for that. Um, I wanna say, how did you find out? How did you end up in Arizona? Where are you from? And tell us that story, because it's always interesting to hear how people ended up in Arizona and ended up in Tucson, Arizona.
Well, I love that question, and it kind of goes to why my band is called Uncommon
Okay.
Crossroads, because
Okay.
Crossroads is a meeting place. Uncommon is something unusual, and that's the kind of musicians I think that you run into in
Hmm.
Tucson. Is everybody's got a different story.
Yep.
They all came from somewhere else, and
Yep.
here we all are together.
Mhm.
So I was born in Southern Ohio, the Steubenville, Pittsburgh, Weirton area,
Mhm.
and that very much influenced like the folky bluegrass thing I have going on.
Mhm.
Then I moved up to the Detroit area of Michigan briefly while my ex was going to law school.
Mhm.
We graduated during the recession with a
Mhm.
baby, so we hightailed it down to Florida to look for a job in Naples, and that didn't happen. And he got a job offer in Gallup, New Mexico,
Oh,
working for the Navajo reservation.
Hmm.
So we picked up and moved out there. We lived there for 8 years. Most of my kids were born out there,
Hmm.
and it's a really beautiful, diverse, and interesting part of the
Yeah.
world that's honestly informed a lot of my perspective of people, life, the Southwest.
Hmm.
Then we moved to Philadelphia for a brief period, about a year and a half. Um, I started working then. I was running a gym. That was very, again, a good getting to know people in hard situations kind of experience. And then ex-husband got a job in Tucson. So we moved out here about 6 years ago.
Hmm.
And I didn't know anybody or anything. Like I never even saw the house we were or the apartment we were moving into. I drove from Philadelphia with four of the kids at the time. I didn't have the fifth yet. And ended up in Tucson. I'm like, oh my God, where did I just come to? So
and
that's
and
how I got
and
here.
and and then from that moment, just in the time to follow, you just reached out to, or just started going out to the music scene. And I mean, were you playing music all this whole time on your own, and
I
then just started to say, well, let me get out here and explore something?
So I've always played music for myself,
Hmm.
literally as a self-soothing technique.
Hmm.
I had a background in piano. It was really stressful. And so to decompress from playing piano, I taught myself guitar when I was a teenager. And since I was a very basic guitar player, I was like, well, I need to sing. So I started singing. And I went on doing the two of those things together for years. And then, like I was telling Jamie Ray, the year after COVID. So I missed the whole music scene shutdown. I was pregnant and having a baby at that point. Um, the year after though was when I was like, you know what? Let's start something and see what happens. And I just connected with, oh, I was writing such cringy little singer-songwriter songs, and I was posting them on YouTube
Hmm.
and Facebook. And that's actually kind of where I built up my little following. I love those people. Mwah. If you're on Facebook and you're one of my earliest followers, subscribers to that very original YouTube channel, thank you. Those people were so nice. They would listen to those terrible songs and comment on it, help me learn to write. Oh my God, help me learn how to freaking rhyme. I was just like freestyling everything at that point. But I
Right.
learned so much that kind of introduced me to the Tucson music scene because nice people would reach out, realize I was here. I got invited to a few shows, things like that, opening for people, and I just made so many friends. And and then going back to your question about like your what you said about professional.
Hmm.
There's so many different ways that could be defined
Hmm.
as a musician.
Hmm.
You can be a professional and work in a studio. You can be a professional and have another job. Most of us do. But to me, when I say, when I compare my life in music before I started in Tucson and now, what makes it a profession to me is that it's a business. And come hell or high water, I'm going to do this. Whether I feel like it, whether I'm in the mood, whether I got a sore throat, I'm going to show up and I'm going to put on a great show. And I'm going to treat my bandmates like people who work with me, that this isn't, you know what it is? This isn't something I'm just doing for fun. I'm
Mhm.
doing it because I love it and I believe in it and because I'm going to grow it.
You know, the I think if you were the last person on the planet that had to run the earth, be you would do very well, because you got this thing called drive and
He
Yeah.
does.
determination and
He
grit.
does.
And I think we could all just kind of the three of us could plug into that, and we'll be good to go for. We'd be
Long
good to go
time.
for a
Hashtag
while
Aries
because
over here.
I'm I'm feeling it all the way up here, and I'm just meeting you, and I'm like, okay, this is exactly what you have, what it takes. It kind of dovetails into something that I experienced this weekend with a seminar that was happening at the music building in Phoenix here. ASU put on a seminar about the music business. And the part that I attended was a seminar on sync licensing, if you know what that is, where you get into
Oh my gosh, we need
movies
to
and
talk. Yes.
TVs and all of that.
Hmm.
And two people that are from the Fervor Records, which I'm reaching out to them to have on the podcast as well. They were the ones on the panel. And one of the things that was mentioned was just what you just said. It's not. It's you don't just show up because you feel like it. You show up when you don't feel like it. It's a constant drive, and that's all of them
I
that
don't
have
show
a,
up even when I feel like it.
But
That's
and
why
here
you
you
don't get
are.
paid.
is
Oh yeah,
anybody
right.
is who is that guy?
What?
Is anybody talking to him?
Just saying, it's
Nobody's
a
talking to
different
him.
perspective. That's
The
all.
the
Different
great
Run the
pumpkin,
perspective.
Zoom.
the great pumpkin over there.
Yeah,
So
Cozumel.
it's what am I trying to say here? I don't want to say refreshing because I think all musicians feel a drive, but
Yeah.
it stands out in what you're talking about and how you're doing it for yourself, and it almost commands success. And I think with having the kids that you have already, you got your whole built-in merch department right there. They will be selling. They're already doing the field work. And you can leave them alone at the merch table and come back, and not only have you made rent, you got enough to buy a house and everything because they done sold out. Mom, we sold
They're
out all the
actually in the
t-shirts.
process of helping me design
Yeah,
new merch
yeah,
because you got to talk to the young people about what are they going to wear.
yeah,
Then you
Orange,
exactly.
better update my
orange.
shirt here if it's going to be different than this.
Ma'am, I will send you the new designs over after this.
Ooh.
Well, you definitely have to, before you leave, we have to have all your contact
Yeah.
information and where we
Please.
can find your music, and where it's posted so that when they click onto the podcast website, there could be
Thank
a
you.
link going straight to whatever you have going on and set up on your side. Um, I have a ton of questions, but I'm not going to leave the Great Pumpkin
Mhm.
out over there.
Man,
Where did you
You
get
know
that
what?
orange shirt? Where did you get that?
Senior Day at Goodwill.
See,
Senior day.
I love thrifting. You own that shirt. Don't let them give
Right?
you a hard time.
I think it was 75 cents or something. It only had
Oh,
one.
you got a better Goodwill than I do.
It
Mine's
only
like
had well.
$3.
You're not senior yet. Wait till you're senior. That's when the
Oh,
really good
I
stuff
aspire
happens.
to it.
See?
I am 41 now, and I
Oh,
love it. I can't wait till I'm like 51. I'm like,
you
oh
got a
my
ways.
gosh,
You got a
how
ways
much
to
Slow
go
older
down,
and
yet.
Maria.
smarter and
Slow
more
down.
emotionally aware am I going to be?
The question that Walter asked and your answer was I found fascinating because about drive and about determination. You need talent, obviously, but talent
Yeah.
always needs to be coupled with
yeah.
some other things. Luck is certainly an element.
Oh my gosh, I could write a book about
Kismet,
all of this.
kismet is an element. Just kind of what the universe, where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to be doing. But I taught for some when I lived up in Madison, Wisconsin, and students would often come up to me and say, you've done this, you've done that, you've done whatever, you've been successful at what you've done. What's the secret? What is the secret? And I think they were waiting for something incredibly profound, I would just say to them, here's the secret: don't suck.
Can I add to that?
Don't
Yes.
suck, because here is the hard reality of what the world is like. most people at best, and I'm saying this on a professional level, not on a personal level, not about personalities and about love or anything like that. On a professional level, most people are mediocre at best.
Mm.
Yep.
And if you are mediocre or below, let's say, there is a ton of competition, ton, because that's where most people live. But if you truly are great at what you do, there is very little competition at that level of the atmosphere, because most people just aren't. So I think you've hit on something, and I think it's particularly true in our community here in Arizona, maybe in every community, but there is a lot of quote unquote competition here. There are a lot of musicians here. A lot of musicians gravitate here. The weather is good. We've got gigs here. We've got festivals. We've got all kinds of studios. We've got all kinds of stuff going on. We're not that far from LA. Blah 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 blah. But again, if you want to be succinct about, I think, what differentiates what you're doing and why you're successful down there in Tucson doing what you're doing, and why you've been able to weave it into a business and help support 6 kids on it as a single parent, is because you are doing the work. And I think that's a piece sometimes that just doesn't get talked about. It's, oh, he's good. He plays good. There are a lot of people that play guitar well. I mean, like a lot.
Yeah.
I'm constantly amazed when I go out and open mic and I say, "Why, holy mackerel! That person is just phenomenal."
Yeah.
So it's not just that; it's all these other things. So having said that, how have you ordered your life and disciplined yourself to rise kind of above that? That level of mediocrity that a lot of people get trapped in.
Yeah. I really like that question. And there's so much I could say about this. So first of all, let me address how I define mediocrity. It has nothing to do, to me, I don't even use the word anymore now, because it's just, everybody can be so good, but where you stand out, it's not actually, it is being good, but honestly, it's just being able to work harder than everybody else. And the most important thing, it's consistency. It's the freaking discipline to get up every freaking day and go do your socials, reply to emails, every freaking show, record your show, go home the next day, make a video, make a follow-up post, make a thank you video. It's the music, that's easy. Everybody loves music. Being on stage, that's a joy. But it is the day-to-day work. Every single day, I'm running our social media. I'm working on the website. I'm working with photographers. I'm scheduling rehearsals. I'm writing new songs. I'm recording the new songs. I'm sending it to the band.
Let me ask you real quick. Do you have business cards?
Business cards? Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is Jamie Ray Jr.
Another tree killer.
No, but right? Because, and so to me, that is
I'm serious.
What I always, okay, how about this? What I always tell my bandmates when I'm bringing in new people, because I'm actually working with some new musicians that I'm really excited about. What I tell them in the interview process is, I'm like, you can be a 6 to 8 out of 10 as far as a musician. You can learn to be better at your music. What I need you to be 10 out of 10 at is a person. Be consistent, be professional, be disciplined, show the work, up and do the work every single day, because that to me is what is the difference between mediocre and professional.
Yeah.
It's that a professional does this every single day, and no matter how bad things get, you don't quit. Speaking of being a mom, real quick, we're gonna put somebody's shoes on. Jamie, the bus is here. Guys, don't leave.
No, go for it. No,
3
do
seconds.
it. Do
Real life. This is it.
We've got
James,
nowhere.
come say hi.
We've got nowhere to go.
Hey,
Hi, James.
hey.
Hi.
That's
one
the
of my
manager.
favorites.
That's the manager.
This
That's the
James. Oh yes,
manager.
he plays cajon for me.
Oh, good,
He
good.
sings
Oh, I love
Wheel on
it.
the Bus.
That's
a
good.
He's
thing.
a very, very talented boy.
Uh-huh.
He's also on the autism spectrum, which makes him even more awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
wow.
that's
another
true.
big part
Great.
of what I do is like manage his care. Hold on,
Yeah, we'll
getting the
hold on.
backpack.
That's
I
Here's your
okay.
think
Mario backpack.
I think we've got
Mario
Jamie Ray
Kart.
Jr. on our hands
What
here.
about my lunchbox?
It's in there already. All right, you ready? On
Oh,
your mark, get set,
Go.
Bye.
What about my snack?
bye. Have a
wait.
good day.
I forgot his snack.
Learn
He's
some
so smart.
stuff.
They have snacks at school, but you know,
Right. He wants a
so you
particular
guys, this is
snack.
what it's like to run a music business and be a mom. You find very nice, patient people who will put up with the crazy. All
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
Jamie, I love you.
Well,
Bye.
Mwah. I'll see you soon.
you come
Make
from
sure
a
he gets on the bus, and then you have my
good.
undivided attention.
No, no, go for it. Go for it.
I love it. That's awesome. So, folks, this is what it's like in everyday life if you're a mom and a musician
All
or
right.
any kind of job other than
I couldn't hear you. The bus is
anything.
very
That's
loud.
okay. That's okay. We're
I'm
saying good
back.
things.
But I think
We
I think that the points that you made about and this is a really important thing to talk about. It's just about this is work. I think from the outside, sometimes a lot of people have this perception, and sometimes non-musical people will come up to you and say, "Oh, that must be. Oh, you have fun all the time,
Oh my
and
God, I
it's
call it the rock
all
star curse.
and this and fun and drinking and drugs and fun and buses and and
It's
it's
nothing
like
like that.
what
We are all
about
musicians and professionals who were like,
spreadsheets and money and blah blah. So anyway, I'm really glad we covered that, and I because I think it is not good for people to have a pure perception of that this doesn't take any work
Mm.
or
oh my
dedication,
God.
uh, you know, because frankly there are a lot of talented people out there. There really
Mhm.
are.
Yeah.
But it's the other side of it. And I mean, Walt could talk to this. Jamie Ray
Yep.
really can't because she's incredibly lazy. But
Hey,
Walt,
don't be dissing my girl.
No, that's right. Watch it.
there's this stick to itiveness
Yep.
of the people that seem to be able to do this and do it,
Mhm.
like you said, not necessarily as a hobby, but as a profession.
It's a life.
Um, and by the way, there's nothing wrong at all with doing it as a hobby.
No,
No.
But I think
you just got to know what you want.
the two can't really be confused.
Hmm.
And you're right. If you're doing the hobby and you're expecting it just to become maybe something more, the chances of that, go buy a lottery ticket. The chances are better that
Yeah.
you win $5 gazillion in the lottery, as opposed to doing the work to make it happen. Which I
Yeah.
believe, putting all kidding aside, everybody on this screen has done the work. I'm amazed at Jamie Ray. Her wheels are always turning. I mean, like always. I can say like potato. Oh yeah, you know what? If we took a potato and we cut it up, and it was the blindsider's name,
Yeah, we
and
can
then you
brand it.
fry it, and then people eat the name of the band. I
We
mean,
can brand it.
this is
I like that.
this. See, this is where this is the difference between it being a profession, and something that you want to really propel forward, and you're going to do the work
Yeah.
to propel it forward, and a hobby. So thank you for bringing us down that
Yeah.
that path, because it's so important, I think, for particularly maybe young folks,
Yes.
to realize is if you have the talent, then do the work and get maybe a little bit lucky, because that
Yeah.
don't hurt either, or make your own luck, then some really good things can happen. So
And I think Maria said while you were, saying all this, she mentioned you have to know what you want, and you do, and it can be a hobby if you don't.
Yes.
There are artists, and I've met some great talented artists that don't want to leave their hometown. They don't want
Yeah.
to leave busking on the corner. They don't want the buses and the tour and the money and that's perfectly fine. They like doing it that way, and but you have to know what you want and see the end and figure out how to get there. You might not have to know how to get there, but you've got to want to figure out how to get there. and do what
Yes.
you do
And
and do
and
it well.
the start of that figuring out process is, what do you want? What's
Yeah.
the end goal? I can't tell you how many bandmates I've worked with in the time I've been doing this, because okay, you know what one of my
Mm,
favorite things are that you guys said, Glenn, was um the lifestyle. Oh my gosh, if there's one thing I want up and coming musicians to hear, it's that this is the hardest job you
mm,
will ever put yourself into. One, there's not a lot of money in it to start. Two, there's no
ever.
roadmap. Three, it will take, it's like a really long relationship. It will take everything out of you. You will question your identity. You will question your self-worth. You will question your talent. You will be in the most stressful situations when you are hungry, tired, exhausted,
Mm,
need to shower, and you put on a good face and you keep going. It will take everything out of you. And people who are not musicians don't realize how soul crushing this can be at
mm,
times, and how important it is to surround yourself with the right bandmates who will see you and show themselves in those same situations and still be decent people.
yeah.
I think that that's well said. I think all
Thank
of us can share that same experience in our own story,
Hmm.
and in a very, very personal way. The thing that I'm gathering from this whole conversation and having you on, Maria, is what it's like to live on planet Earth as a creator, as a creative that decides to pursue the thing that they, like to create, songwriting, music,
you.
everything. It opens up this whole entire universe of infinite possibilities. And you could say, like you say, you could be a hobbyist, you could be just on the street corner, you could be whatever. But I think the thing that stands out in all of it is that core of authenticity when you are in the moment, that you are, people can tell that you're going somewhere,
Mm,
you're, something has taken over in the presence of. And I
Yeah.
think that's what inspires people to sit and listen to music, but it also inspires people to try and become a musician, because I think we get a sense of what's going on from another level of energy, the invisible universe that,
Yeah.
where the songs come from, and, and
hmm.
and how they land with the audience and how the audience receives the music. And that level of communication, I think, is very, very, very important. And I think it keeps us sane in a
Hmm.
way. We can get the crazy energy out, we can get the love energy out, but we're standing there with an acoustic guitar or a piano and
Hmm.
letting it flow out through us. And we become the character, we become the narrator, we become so many different things on stage, in the moment, in the song, through the songs, and feeling safe enough to go to that space and be vulnerable in
Yeah.
front of an audience.
Hmm.
It communicates something to the people where they are might thinking about doing something like that for themselves in a different
Yes.
profession, or just to be themselves
Yes.
authentically. We give them permission to do that for a little while, and that's where they come back, because they say, you know what, that's one song, it made a
Oh,
difference. And
Hmm.
speak on that for a
yeah.
moment there, because I think you have
I
experienced that, and that's what calls you.
You use the word authenticity.
Hmm.
And this year, every New Year's I reflect on, where am I going personally, professionally, as a mom, in music. And the word that came to me was authenticity. To me, authenticity is like, it's this conglomeration of everything that equals integrity. Who are you as a person, and how do you put that out into the world?
Mhm.
And, you know, oh my gosh, that just hits so hard, because like all the musicians are talking about like AI and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And what I see, and then so much of how we discover artists now is through social media, and there are so many levels of filtration, of creating an image. In fact, that's what they encourage you to do in the music industry is be chaperone, have a persona. And, you know, that's why I got the hair. That's why I got stage decorations. That's why my theme is red and black and roses and barbed wire, because I created a brand, but I was like, first, what does that shit mean to me as a person?
Yeah.
Who am I and how do I express that in my art? But, like as a musician, I try to stay real. I don't go crazy with the social media filters, editing. The album I just dropped, it's the album I'm most proud of. And it doesn't get more authentic than that because what I did is I walked into my friend's studio with my guitar and he recorded me just standing there in front of a microphone, one take, the whole song all the way through, no overdubs. When you listen to that album Between the Lies, it's just me singing live with a guitar. And I wanted, in this world of overprocessed music, I wanted to share that, even if it's not perfect, even if all the tech people will be like, she's not singing to a metronome. But that's how I want to represent myself because so many, with having children, they look up to movie stars, they look up to musicians so much, but what they're seeing is a curated, created image.
Yeah.
And I want to be real as much as
I think you are. I think you are. And that's why I wanted you on this show so bad to just show that vulnerability and the single mom and I mean, I think you're pretty amazing. So, and I love your
I think
stuff.
you're
I love
amazing.
your sound. I can't wait for more people to hear. I mean, you have tons of followers already, but
I
there
think
is
I'm
a whole,
amazing.
yeah, well,
I'm
you can
always
be.
looking,
You
all
can
my
be.
followers are real followers. I have never gone and bought followers.
I haven't
I
either. I
love
say
every
that
one of
all
those
the
freaking
time.
people
I
who
know.
followed me.
I am exactly the same way. And
Every guest that we have on, we always say this, and I'm going to say it again, and I know that Jamie Ray and Walter will echo it. We got to have you back on because we just
we
basically
do.
scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I
So
love talking to you guys. This has been so much fun. People who know me well and who I like will say I'm a yapper, which means in my children's language, I talk a lot, but I have to feel comfortable around you. If I'm not myself, I can be very quiet.
Well,
But
we
you
want
guys
you to
just
be
brought it out of me,
yourself.
so thank
So
you.
yeah, we want you to be
So,
yourself. That's
so
what that we love that. So
I
thank
so
you.
yeah, and yeah. Thank you. I have one question.
Yes.
What is your observation of the different music scenes in the state of Arizona, and your
Oh.
observation of the music scene in comparison Arizona and the rest of the nation?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, how blunt would you like me to be?
It's it's
blunt.
it's it's you, baby. Just be
It's
you.
just be you. Tell us what you want. Tell us
Yes,
Kind
what you
but
hear.
honest?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I can't really speak to the rest of the nation because honestly, I've only done music professionally here in Arizona. I've played music other places. I've seen the scene. I see them. I see what's put out on social media. I think there's very okay, my style of music is Americana folk rock. That's not really a thing out west. If I lived back east, everybody would freaking know what I was doing because
Yeah.
that's where all that folk bluegrass stuff comes from.
Hmm.
Out in Arizona, what I've noticed the scene is country, country western, EDM, lots of rock and metal. And if I left you out, it's just because I don't see it as often. But what's so cool about Arizona is there's a little bit of everything here. And
Yeah, there
I'm
is.
I'm not going to become famous in my genre in Arizona. But I am going to stay in Arizona because this is where I live and I love this place. And what makes Arizona special in the music scene, as far as I can see, particularly Tucson, you know, there are so many musicians here. It's the musicians. They are some of the best,
Yeah,
kindest,
yeah.
most honest, most giving, supportive people.
Hmm. Yeah.
There's not, I'm sorry, for anybody who's listening, there's not a lot of money in music here. You get outside of Tucson, people will pay you and pay you well. And mwah, thank you all so very much for that. Tucson, though, why I love music here is because everybody brings a heart. Everybody really believes in what they're doing,
Yeah.
and they lift each other up.
Yeah,
And
it's true.
I hear on the internet that that's not the case everywhere.
Yeah.
Phoenix, I love playing up in Phoenix. You guys are totally different. It's a
It's a
totally
it's a
different vibe.
different oh
Tucson
yeah.
can be very like small town.
Hmm.
Um, Phoenix is much more diverse. My style of music, I feel like, is much better known up in Phoenix. Like I'll start playing Coulter Wall or Tyler Childers, and everyone's like, they'll request songs. I'm like, oh my God, you know who Tyler Childers is? Tucson, not most of the time. And then if you go south, I love the southern Arizona areas. Like, we play in Arivaca, we played Tubac, Tombstone. If you my Tombstone people are listening, I love you all so much. Um, they're small. You would think, small towns, they're not going to know what's going on. Oh my gosh, there are so many like talented, knowledgeable people who have
Hmm.
moved to those
Hmm.
cities, those little
Yeah.
towns from everywhere,
Yeah.
and they know what the frick I'm doing.
Yep.
And that is so rewarding to be
And
around.
Bisbee also on that. Put that.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed going to Bisbee and just experiencing the scene that I just walking around.
yeah,
I love the little coffee shops that have musicians sitting there playing, and very talented musicians
yeah,
sitting there playing.
yeah.
Can I
They
tell
are.
you a secret about Bisbee?
Sure.
I've played there a ton. I like Bisbee. I like the people there. It's actually, to me, a hard place to play because just like Tucson, it's oversaturated with good musicians.
Yeah,
Oh
there's a
yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
It's hard to get into, and but it's hella fun to go and
Well,
meet
it's one.
people and the
Well, just
connections.
It's
don't suck.
it's one. It's one
That's
of those
right.
places. It's one of those places where when people come to Arizona, they don't think about Bisbee. But if you're in
Yeah,
Arizona and you've
you
played
know it.
the
Yeah,
entire state, and you say, "Have you ever played Bisbee?" You go, "Yeah, I have played there," because that means you
Yep.
know where it is, you know
yeah,
Arizona, and
right.
you know what it means to say, "I played Bisbee." You don't
Yes.
go there and
You
say,
can't be you
"Oh,
can't really be in the Arizona Musicians Club unless you've played Bisbee. You know where
Bisbee."
else I want to
Well,
play?
Glenn, you're
Oh,
out, buddy.
Where
Well,
else?
um,
I've
Jerome.
played at a rest area near Bisbee.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
well,
rest
that
area.
totally
I bet you
counts.
Does
did.
that
You probably
There's
got
like a
amazing
picnic
tips.
table out there or something? I mean,
Yeah,
does that
it's not
Played
there
at
no
the
Just
more.
thought of
rest area.
something. I have one other really good city to plug.
What's that?
Um, Prescott.
Oh yeah,
Oh
Oh
my
yeah,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
yeah.
Prescott.
There's a lot going
Yeah,
on
We
there.
have a monthly
yeah,
contract at Whiskey River Tavern,
Okay.
yeah.
and that whole city is so
It
supportive
is. Yeah,
Yeah.
of my style of music, particularly. Like we do really well up there. And yeah,
I'm gonna be.
if you're
you
visiting
do.
places in Arizona, Prescott is a good
Uh,
one.
I'll be up there this Sunday with Drew Hall and doing a music seminar, a songwriting seminar at the
What?
Elks Theater. And
Yeah,
yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking
yeah.
forward to it.
Hell yeah.
I like playing at the Raven Cafe.
Dude, that is somewhere on my bucket list. Everybody
Okay,
says it's a
so
very
I can.
singer-songwritery kind of
It
venue.
is. It is really good, and they have another bar down the street. They also own a recording studio, and they also remodeled one of the historical buildings down there. And on the upper level, there's a like a condo that they put their musicians up in when they bring them
Hmm.
into, and it's really nice.
It
I
is. I
mean,
threw a
I,
couch out the window there. It was awesome.
I've
No,
only
you
played at
did
the
not.
Palace there, so
yeah.
on Whiskey Row.
So
So I don't
yeah,
know those places.
So I call the Arizona the great co-op of musicians because a
Mm,
lot of people will sit in. If your bass player can't make it tonight,
Yeah,
somebody else will come in and sit
yes.
in, and they'll play their heart out on your
Hmm.
stage, and
yeah.
then ask to come back again. So one of the things that I kind of look at the music scene here as almost like a sporting team. If you want to be successful, you have to have a deep bench. What I mean, you got to have 4 or 5 drummers, 4 or 5 bass
Oh
players,
my
a
gosh.
couple of guitar players that you can call,
Yeah.
and then when one
Yes, that's literally what I've been doing
and
lately.
Then when
and
one is drunk,
when it's drunk, you just call somebody off the bench. You set them on the bench. And listen. I've had guys say, "Hey, Walt, you haven't called me in a while. It's good to be on the gig. Have I been on the bench?" I go, "Yeah, you've been on the bench."
You've been benched.
You get benched if you show up like late or consistently. If I've given you've had the chance to not be drunk coming to the gig, and you still keep doing that. "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry." "Hey, it's all right. You can sit on the bench, dry up. We'll get you back in the game. We'll
someday.
get you back in the game." Yeah.
Someday.
For me, I
Before,
can handle a tiny bit drunk, but I'm like, do not show up with a shit attitude.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
keep your problems with your girlfriend at home.
Right.
You're on stage, you're freaking
Right.
smiling, you're interacting with
Well,
me.
you know the
You have a
weird thing,
good
Maria,
attitude for the crowd.
sometimes the drunk thing and the bad attitude actually coincide. As crazy as that may sound,
Depends on the
I
artist.
believe you.
you know,
Depends on the artist.
it could happen.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I wanna I'm gonna ask you here publicly. The Blindsiders have a huge bash every year. It's March 13th, 2027,
Yes.
and I would love to invite you to open for the
Oh my
Blindsiders.
gosh. Oh my God, I'm like jumping up and down inside because if I jump up and down in real life, the camera's gonna shake. Oh my God,
So,
Jamie Ray, that is so exciting. I would love
okay,
to.
y'all heard it right here. Y'all heard it
Yeah.
right here. I
See,
don't
and this
like
is
to
this
give-
is how I find out because I opened for the one in 2026. So this is how I find out that I am not going to be opening.
No,
Well,
no,
I
she,
was just-
no,
You
she-
had your turn this year. It's my
Hey,
turn.
Hey, wait.
What?
She asked me, and
like
my
3
response,
months ago.
yeah, and my response says, "That's way too far out," because I like to kind of like see what's going to show up at the last minute. See what I'm saying?
You mean something
And
might
so-
have some
See,
money
I
on
have
it?
a band calendar. All this shit goes in months in
Now-
advance.
Oh my
I'm booked
gosh.
out through the year, and I'm like,
See,
we
I knew
will
that.
accept this for March.
Because I am too. So, but
You're booked out for 2 years.
I am booked out for 2 years.
I know what it
But-
is. It was my rider from last time.
It was
that
your
did it,
writer.
wasn't it?
I have here it
I
is
asked
right here.
for
Washing machine,
no,
baby goats.
a Mana washing machine on stage
So-
and farm animals.
I had the red carpet, but I couldn't get the farm animals. Tempe wouldn't allow it.
Doggone it,
I do
Jamie
want to
Ray.
say though, I appreciate that, and I usually keep the lineup a secret, but I don't get to talk to you that often, and I want to
Oh my
lock
goodness.
that in
Yeah, I would
Oh,
love.
I am
because
so
I'm still
excited.
waiting on Walt and Glenn. They don't want
I
to
would-
give me an answer.
I would. I would love to have you
See,
get up
this
here.
is girls in the business. We get shit done. We get done
Right.
fast.
Right. I would love to have you come up here and play at the Tempe Center for the Arts.
I've invited
so-
her to that. I
Yeah,
invited
Oh my
her to that when
gosh!
I met her.
And I host the
So,
open mic
I
night
didn't
there.
forget you.
I host the open mic night there, and have been for 17 years. We're in our 17th year,
Wow.
and it's on Wednesdays. And if you find yourself up here on a Wednesday, give me a call, and I'll put you
No,
on
I'm
a
gonna
spot.
get my ass up there on a
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot.
But
Yeah,
not
that's
during
right.
the summer because
Yeah, during the summer we're
Walt
off.
takes a vacation. But now Glenn,
I work all summer.
Glenn's all year.
all
Yeah.
summer.
His open mic night happens all year round and
Yeah,
everything.
I'm one of those people like we were talking about that is dedicated and executes, has a plan, is consistent.
Wait,
When
Jamie
it's
Ray,
hot,
you're gonna
when
give me
it's
these guys' contact
cold.
info because
please.
I didn't realize you run open mics. I am such a supporter of those in my hometown. Every week, I
Yeah.
try to get to a different open mic just to support the community,
Yeah.
share what I'm doing,
Yeah.
meet
Now
people.
I get to throw you under the bus since we're razzing everybody. You don't pay attention because I told you about all these open mics when I met
I
you.
know.
Yeah, but there's a lot of
It's
words
because-
going
but
on
you
when
had-
Jamie Ray is talking to you. So you
Yeah.
can't.
This is
That
why
is
I
true.
write things
That is
down
true.
where I'm like, that's
You
how
know,
I remember
That
it.
is true. I threw a lot of stuff at her. I
Remember
did.
like
right,
I
that
did.
old Maxell ad,
Also, I was like
Walt?
so excited to meet you, Jamie Ray. So my brain
Thank
wasn't
you.
really present and accounted for.
I know.
All
I know
right.
how it is.
That's cool.
Well,
That's nice.
we're gonna have you back, Maria. This
We
was
are. We'll
actually
have you back.
just a really
I
fascinating conversation. So we really appreciate it,
Thank you for being here.
thank you guys.
and thank you for doing what you do, and for taking us down the road you took us down. So
And be
Maria,
sure.
we were gonna have all your info posted
Good.
right under you there as you're speaking, and people can get in touch with you. And yeah, reach out anytime you want to come on up, and we'll take care of you.
I
Okay.
will be there. I love you guys so much. This was so much.
Thank
This
you so
was
much.
very enjoyable, and you are all quality people. And I cannot wait to meet the rest of you
We
in real
will.
life. And Jamie Ray, we're going to see each other before 2027.
All right,
Okay.
We,
then.
All
we're
See
gonna
you,
right. I love
Maria.
we're,
it.
Thank you
we're
so
gonna
much.
get you up here in Phoenix a little bit more.
We will.
I'm
Yeah.
That's
going
the
to reach
goal.
out to you.
Okay.
That's how we get shit done. We do
Right?
it.
All
There
right.
you go. See you,
Take care.
Maria.
Bye,
Blessings to the
Love
Maria.
you guys.
family.
I will talk to you all soon.
All
Blessings
right.
to the family.
Maria Montanini, that was a really
Yeah.
great conversation. Jamie, thanks for
Setting
getting her
that
hooked
up.
up with us. That was awesome.
I told you I loved her, and she's just got that drive and energy and stage presence. Wait till you see her perform.
Looking forward to it.
She's great.
Yeah.
Great. So what's live, loud, and local with the desert vibe? What's going on, y'all? We don't have much going on out here. It's slowing down a lot. But
Yeah.
the Windmill Winery is still open until May. I think they've got live music till May. The Olive Mill's got music actually through June. And then there's all the little bars out here that'll be playing, having.
Did I see something where the olive mill picked up another venue or something, or
Yeah, they're doing something, and I was gonna look into that before today, and I didn't get a chance,
okay.
but they've got something going on the west side. So,
That's what I
uh,
thought. That like
yeah,
out Surprise or Glendale or
yeah.
somewhere
And
like
I'm
that.
not sure exactly what it all is, so I don't want to get into it, but they do. They will have something going on the west side, and so I'll be in your neck of the woods more because I play at the Olive Mill, so.
No, I was hoping that you would just give them my name so you could just sit over there where you
Glenn, I
belong,
would
and I
like
could
them
take
to.
care of the stuff over here, which is
I
the way
want
it
them
should
to
be.
continue inviting me back. So to
All
tell
right.
them I know you,
Yeah,
let
that
me
might not
think on
help.
it. Let
That
me
might not
think on
help.
it.
That might be bad.
What's going on in your neck of the woods,
Well,
boy?
live, loud, and local over here, West Central, Scottsdale kind of stuff. Let's go far north though, because as things slow down here in the valley, because it gets hot, we know this. Flagstaff, on the other hand, it don't get too hot there. And the Flagstaff Folk Festival is going to be June 13th and 14th, but they are taking applications now, and we're recording this show on the 23rd of April. Their application window closes on April 30th. So a week from when this show is being recorded. So if you are interested in playing up in Flag at that festival, and I've played there a few times, it's a very nice festival, and it's at a time of the year when we're starting to get hot down here in the valley, and taking a little break and going up to Flag for a day or two is kind of nice, and playing outside that time of year
Yeah,
up
it
there is nice too. So. You can just, like do a Google search for the Flagstaff Folk Festival, and their application is right online. And they've changed a couple of things around this year. It used to be that you would just apply and pretty much automatically get in. I think they're having a little bit more of a vetting process this year because they've been getting busy. And so if I'm remembering right this year, I think you might have to send a song or some kind of sample or something, but we're all used to that. That's not a huge deal. But again, that festival happens June 13th and 14th, and the application deadline for the Flagstaff Folk Festival closes on April 30th. Other than that, we've got still a ton of open mic activity happening here, Central and West. There's a new open mic Wednesday nights, and this could be good to know for when Walt goes on hiatus. David Shepard Grossman, who's a great artist over here, he's doing one at Arizona Barbecue Shack, which is in Scottsdale on McDowell.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a Wednesday night one. Coyote Odie's over in Glendale, beautiful, like acoustically perfect listening room. That one is going to go weekly starting in May. On Thursday nights.
Who
Right
runs
now,
that
they're
one?
every other week. Clydeen Balke
Oh,
runs
Claudine.
it. Yeah,
Okay,
and she
good,
she does a wonderful job.
good.
So
I
so
like.
that one is up and rolling. I'm
Yeah.
hosting at Enchiladas Arizona Live Music Cooperative Monday nights. North Mountain Brewing Company on Tuesday nights. And there's just much going on. It just kind of comes inside once it starts getting hot. But I have to say, my God, guys, we have just had the nicest winter and spring
Mm.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
It has been downright ridiculously amazing.
Yeah.
As we're sitting here recording on the 23rd of April, it's 82 degrees today.
Mm.
We're gonna have our days. We
Yeah.
know what's coming,
Yeah, we do.
but
Yeah, we
but
do.
it's been damn, and like for the reggae festival
Hmm.
that I think finally did happen.
Yeah,
Um,
That
uh,
weather came.
I think it finally happened.
it
It
came
was
and went.
I did stop by there. It was a beautiful, beautiful weather-wise and
Mm.
music-wise. It just don't get any better than that. Sitting
What
on,
night did you go by?
I was there Saturday.
Did
Mm.
you go? You went to the show?
Yeah. Well, no, I
Oh,
hung out near the fence so I wouldn't have to pay because I left my
See,
clip.
as
I
soon
left
as
my
I
clipboard at home,
as soon
and
as I told them Glenn's name, they had him. They had his. They wouldn't let him in.
that was it. No, I was actually riding bike down that way, and the bike trail
yeah,
goes right by
yeah.
the grounds
So,
there.
okay, so let me ask you this: when you're riding your bike
Yeah.
through that area, where do you start? You ride all the way from your house?
No, no,
I didn't think
no,
so.
because it's and anymore. I don't like road riding anymore because
Yeah,
too many people looking at phones
Mm.
and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
what I'll do is I'll usually toss my bike in the car and I'll park
Mm.
kind of near Tempe Center for the Arts,
okay,
and then I'll ride all the way down to where the trail ends, like past the airport
yeah,
on that side,
okay,
and then ride all the way back, sometimes to Mesa, because that trail goes it hooks up with the canal trails and
yeah,
whatever. But it's interesting because when you go by Tempe Town Lake on a weekend, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be something happening.
Mm.
yeah.
And I'm trying to remember who the hell was on stage and it looked busy. I mean, it looked like it looked like they had a good show.
What time of day?
It was like dusky,
Dusky.
If there
yeah.
was a lot of people there, they weren't listening to Walt tell them what time the show was.
Well, they would have been there 3 weeks
They,
before the
they would
show.
have been there. Yeah, they would have had tents out waiting for it to
No, but
happen.
there were a lot of people. But having said that, I mean, we are so fortunate here,
Yeah.
to have great weather when we do.
Sure.
And a little sad note, and you've noticed this too, I'm sure, Walt, at your shows and whatnot. The snowbirds
Mm.
generally are gone by the time
Yeah,
May 1st rolls around.
Yeah.
So a
yeah.
lot of people that we really love
Hmm.
and like and having around, it's tough to say,
Yeah.
we're not going to see these folks until maybe October, November, and through
October.
there
Yeah,
somewhere.
Albert's last
Albert would
show.
be one of them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there were many, 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 but
Yeah,
we're
the
fortunate to know these
Blindsiders,
people.
Sidewinder Nation. All the followers, the
Well, we were
Sidewinder
hoping you would
are
actually
gone.
leave by May 1st, but
Well, I don't leave, but the
I
Sidewinder
know.
Nation crew, there's a lot of them, and they're
Well,
already
they should
disappearing.
stay, and perhaps you should leave.
They've
Uh,
offered that.
I'm sure they have.
You
But
could
anyway, Walter, what the heck is happening live, loud, and local over in your corner of the world
over,
there?
over well, this show will probably be posted by later tonight,
Yeah.
so everything that's on the calendar for today will be either in the process of happening. But there's quite a few events taking place at Tempe Diablo Stadium on Friday the 24th. There's Music Under the Stars, and that's a real nice program. And at the Tempe Center for the Arts, there's a live music, The Roommate, who's
Mm.
going to be there. And also at the Tempe Center for the Arts on let's see, I guess you said 24th through the 25th is the Caso Dance Theaters. You're Not Alone in memorandum and memoriam. I guess that's how it's said.
Hmm.
That goes from 7:30 to 10 over there. And at the Sun Bar on Saturday the 25th is Cool Night. They've got, great people spinning some incredible music over there at that place. And going forward into, I don't have a, oh yeah, I don't have a venue here for this one, but at Netspin is going to be here at, let me see where this is going to be at. I'm thinking it's going to be at the Center for the Arts. I'm not sure. And that's an 8 to 11 show. Ravensburger Puzzle Race Mini Tournament at Snakes and Lattes in Tempe.
Oh, I
They
love
have,
snakes and lattes.
yeah, they have a great program. This I want to. Here's one that's really cool that they have going on, and it's actually happening tonight. Ladies only. Dungeons and Dragons one shot session at Snakes and Lattes. That's
There's
gonna
my
be
kind
cool.
of woman right there, boy. Dungeons and Dragons, snakes and lattes.
Right, right.
Ladies' night.
Ladies' night,
I
baby.
love that. I
You
love
want
that.
Snakes and Lattes? They're right there on Mill Avenue.
So that
Yeah,
would
I
be
love
you
that
can-
on the
place.
23rd, right? Thursday the
Yeah,
23rd.
that's going on
Okay,
this evening.
So that's when we're
So,
recording that.
so if you kind of look up what they have, they have a lot of interesting programs, and then a lot of it's family oriented in terms of games and
Yeah,
things like that. So,
dude,
yeah,
it's a great place.
check that out. So we have up until the end of May, which is the last Wednesday in May, the Walk-In Wednesday open mic night will finish up its 17th year, and
That's May
we
27th.
May
I'm
27th.
surprised it lasted 17 minutes, frankly.
Especially with you being there.
I know.
It's
I've
picked
tried.
up a lot since I've been going.
I've
It
So.
has
tried to
picked
kill
up
it.
a lot. It has picked up. We're getting some people who haven't been out for a while in the audience back in because some of them had disappeared because or they had to take care of aging parents or
Yep.
an aging spouse, and then that person has
Aging
gone on
host.
into the into the next realm, and so they're returning out, and it's good to see them. They look like they look kind of that a weight has been lifted off of their shoulder, and they're ready to sit back and get comfortable. And seeing them in the room, it's very endearing, and people give them
Yeah.
hugs and
Great show
everything
last
like
night.
that. Yeah, it's really very, 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 very nice. So I had another train of thought I was going to go down after that, but I'll just tell you this. Oh, here's what it was. Coming up, Jamie Ray, you have this anniversary happening in March, but next year we're going into the 20th year of the TCA being around, and so that's going to start. And what I think they're playing this 20. I think they're starting to talk about it a year in advance is what's happening. So I'll be bringing on some information. They've stepped up with me yesterday to ask. We're going to be going in meetings. We want you to be there. Talk about what we can
Awesome.
do for our 20th year. So I'm really, really excited about that.
That's
That's
awesome.
exciting, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
going to be a
is.
lot of
They've
fun.
asked me not to be
Very.
there. So
That was exciting too.
go figure. That's weird.
And who knows? They might have the blindsiders in some of those
Never
events
Oh,
know.
see, I
if
would
they
love that.
if they aren't booked.
Well, you better get me soon.
Well,
You got to
you
talk
better
to
get
me.
me soon.
You better get me soon. I've already had to
I'm
double book
available.
some dates, talking about doubling dates, because the
Right.
chill room anniversary party's coming up, and I
Yeah.
got 2 gigs that day to make sure I'm there on November 3rd. So,
So wait a minute. How do
or
you have
November
to?
7th. It's November 7th. I'm sorry.
Okay, so but you were talking about one in March.
Yeah, March 13th is the Blindsider Bash. The
Okay.
chill room 3rd anniversary is November 7th of this
Right.
year.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the Blindsider Bash for everybody out there. Where is that? Is that going to be at the chill room
That's
too?
going to be at the Chill Room in
All
Tempe,
right.
Arizona. It's
Good.
going to be an all-day event. I know Walt and Glenn will be there, but I like to keep that lineup secret. But y'all heard that
Yeah,
we're going to have
we
Uncommon
know who the
Crossroads
opener
on.
is going to be, and
Who?
it's not me.
It
Anyway,
could be. It could
well,
be.
this
You
was
know what?
this. You actually, Jamie Ray, you brought a wonderful guest to
Yeah,
the
you
Thank
did.
table
you.
Yeah,
today.
you
Thank
did.
you. She was
And
great. I loved her.
it's been a really awesome show.
Yeah.
And looking at the clock, well,
Yeah.
it should have been over about.
No, it's never over. It's
This
never
is
over.
true. Anyway,
I want to
I
plug one thing in Tempe on
course you do.
April. I do.
Go
On
for it.
April 29th at 8 p.m. at the Yucca Room, there's a free show, The Matthew Allen
Yeah,
Project
yeah.
and
Oh,
the
yeah,
Rosewood
yeah.
Casket, and they've got some
Yes.
guests in between those acts. But you want to get down there, it's a free show. I think they take some donations, which would be nice if you want to help them out. But
Good people, good music.
it is April
Yeah.
29th. We had Matthew Allen on here, so you all know him. Get out there, go see that
Go
show.
support
It's
live local music.
live, loud, and local out in Tempe.
All right, I'm Glenn Gardner.
Wait, hold on just a
No,
second.
no, I'm
One
Glenn.
more-
I'm Walt
What?
Richardson. I'm Jamie Ray.
Hey,
I'm
on the
getting hungry here. Jeez, I'm getting hangry.
hangry.
Hangry. That's hungry and angry.
I think
Okay.
I like Glenn saying all our names.
Hey, I have to say on the 29th, did you mention that? Was
Yes,
that the
sir.
date? Gym leader Ellie will be on that
Oh,
That's
show as
right.
well.
They're on the bill.
They're
Yes,
on the
that's
bill.
right.
Cool.
So,
And Grizzly, I think also.
yep. And I guess there's another band. Okay, great.
Grizzly.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Good deal.
April 29th.
Yep.
All right,
Good
I'm
deal.
Walter Richardson.
I'm Jamie Ray. I'm always only Jamie Ray and the Blindsiders.
I am not Glenn Gardner. not dressed up like that. Not wearing the Great Pumpkin outfit.
90 cents. Senior day
90
at
cents.
Goodwill. I'm saying, you know.
Oh man. Oh man.
I am Glenn Gardner.
I am Jamie Ray.
I'm Walt Richardson. I want to thank you all so much for sharing some of your time with us, and we look forward to having you join us again. We will be back next week, same time, same station, if you will, right? And you can view us anytime and go to the podcast and check out all of the other shows that we've had so far. I want to thank our support team. They like to stay unnamed, but we want to thank them for their enormous help in making the podcast possible to be streamed to all of you, and also building out the podcast website and setting up all the ways that we can sell merch off of it and that kind of thing. So,
Yep.
thank you to our support team.
Thank you.
And I want to say, sending out all the healing energy to those in special need at this point in time.
Thank you.
And we know we know what that's all about. That's going out continuously. And until we meet again, be good to yourselves, take care of one another, and let's give peace a chance.
That's right. And in
Next
the
time.
immortal words of Soupy Sales, go take $1 out of your mommy's purse and send it to me. Ladies and gentlemen,